I'm recording this audio in the first period intermission between the Vancouver Canucks and the Vegas Golden Knights. It is currently Tuesday, April 12th, so this video is being uploaded 2 days after it is going to be recorded, but that's kind of okay, because we have ourselves a Buffalo Sabres game later on the date of this video's upload that will be Owen Power's second NHL game played. I wanted to make this video to go over what we had seen in the first game that just concluded for me, but was 2 days ago for you, between the Buffalo Sabres and the Toronto Maple Leafs. But in this video, I did not want to just highlight Owen Power and his performance, but I also wanted to talk about the future, because you take a look at the other first overall pick that the Sabres have in their system playing for the team. It is indeed Rasmus Dahlin. These two guys are both left-handed defensemen. These two guys are both first overall picks taken 3 years apart. Both of them are playing for the Buffalo Sabres, and this season they have shown off in more ways than one just the overall growth that their games have exhibited. So, let's go over the new guy first and foremost. Owen Power played 19 minutes of ice time during his first game against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he did not disappoint. He didn't get any points, so there you go. If you're looking for any fantasy summary numbers right there, unfortunately, he was left with donuts on the board, but he was a +2. The Buffalo Sabres defeated the Toronto Maple Leafs 5-2 in a pretty outstanding performance, if I do say so myself. Good on them for always having their best games against Toronto, and I guess good for Toronto as well for finding your ultimate kryptonite in the form of the Buffalo Sabres. But Owen Power, for the most part, went out there and he played pretty okay. There was one highlight of his making the rounds on Twitter where he was breaking up an odd man 2-on-1 rush between Mark Giordano, who is a Norris winner, and Austin Matthews, who is the best goal scorer in the NHL today. Giordano has the puck on the right side, he's trying to feed it right in front to Matthews, and Owen Power just casually, calmly, easily intercepts the puck right through his legs, plays it up forward, and that Toronto rush is completely shut down. It's like he's got the quick pick X factor enabled on his character, as Owen Power just easily picks off that 2-to-1 pass. They talked to him afterwards in the post-game interview. Hey, what did you read on that play? What was it like taking the puck away from a former Norris winner, trying to get it over to a Rocket Richard winner in Matthews? And he was like, yeah, that was pretty surreal, but I just needed to make the play. And I'll say this as well, Owen Power in his post-game comments had some really good answers. Go ahead and watch Owen Power's 5-minute post-game interview after the Toronto game if you have the chance, because it's been one of the more notable parts of his character over the past few years. Not profile, player profile, but like character, that he's always been a pretty well-spoken and humble dude. Even in this game and the post-game conference as well, he said that he thought he played pretty well, but he knows there's a lot more to do and there's a lot more work to be done. He talked about what it was like playing with the Sabres and how even though he doesn't know these guys, he's still able to mesh and do proper things with them, like making plays and making passes. There were a few opportunities that the interviewers noted that, hey, it looked like you wanted to step up into the play and drive forward like you usually did with Michigan. What held you back? And he was like, you just got to read the situation. You got to acknowledge sometimes it's appropriate to do that. Other times it might not be. You got to make your plays, but also make sure you're not putting the team in the worst position. And when it comes to the psyche, the understanding of what it takes to be a National Hockey League player, I think Owen Power is going to have no problems adjusting to that, especially at the maturity that he has displayed so far with how he has handled the media, the fans, etc. It's been a pretty good treat to watch. It's tough to believe this guy's only 19 years old. Like, I don't know about you, but when I was 19 years old, I was... what was that, 2 years ago? Something like that? Okay, it's kind of a bad example because I was making YouTube videos in the same way that I am now 2 years ago, but either way, for Owen Power making his debut, he looked solid enough, he made some good plays, and Austin Matthews had some pretty good things to say about him as well. This is the quote from the Toronto post-game availability. His hockey IQ jumps out. He didn't look like a rookie playing his first game, Austin Matthews says on Owen Power. And when it comes to players who probably know what it's like to have a good first game in the National Hockey League, yeah, Austin Matthews might just be the epitome of that sentiment. But even though Owen Power had himself a game, he was not the only one on tonight's action, 2 days ago's action, because it's 2 days ago for you, it's tonight for me, who had some pretty good talking points on the game. Rasmus Dahlin went out here in the 5-2 win against Toronto with a goal and an assist, which is pretty significant because with these 2 points, Dahlin has officially overtaken his career high in points in a regular season. He had himself his 10th goal on the season as well as his 36th assist for 46 total points on the year. He did this in 73 games played, which is a pretty good mark because if you do the math over 82 games, there you go, 46 divided by 73, multiplied out by 82. He's on pace over a full season for 52 points, but the number he is at right now, which is 46, is good enough because it's already bested his career high of 44 points in 82 games in his rookie season 3 years ago. Rasmus Dahlin has been getting better, and Don Coronato has played such a system in the Buffalo Sabres organization that has allowed a lot of these guys to really come into their own and just start playing the game the way they're familiar with. And that's something that I think Ralph Krueger sort of lost towards the end of his tenure with the Sabres. You could just see the identity of this team. There was no identity. It was just they would find ways to lose games over and over again, and they didn't have that cohesion that you really want out of a hockey team. But under Don Coronato, you could see these guys are having fun, they're smiling a lot more, they're scoring goals, they're winning games against powerhouses like Toronto, and some players that are on this team are really benefiting because of it. Tage Thompson, we've already talked about several times on this channel, we're talking about Alex Tuch and Peyton Krebs as well, but for Rasmus Dahlin, this guy is playing probably some of the best hockey he has played in his entire life. And even though it took him a while to get going, he's still coming over here, improving. He just turned 22 years old. He was born April 13th, so early happy birthday to you, Mr. Rasmus Dahlin, from me recording this audio on April 12th. And I guess a lot of people in the comments are going to go out there and say a belated happy birthday because this video is going to be uploaded the day after his birthday on April 13th. Rasmus Dahlin is now 22 years old, so he's got himself a boatload of potential to go out there and still improve as his years go on. But you just gotta think, man, Rasmus Dahlin is already playing at a 50-point pace as an early 20-year-old defenseman. He's getting better and more confident as the year is going on. And you have this guy growing and developing alongside another left-handed defenseman first-round pick in Owen Power. These two guys are going to have so much to learn from each other. They're going to have a lot to learn alongside of the rest of the Sabres and their young core. And it gets me super excited thinking where this team can be in the future. I know it's kind of been like a meme over the past half-decade pretty much to say, oh, I think this is it. I think the Sabres are turning a corner. They haven't made the playoffs since 2011. We said the same thing back when they drafted Sam Reinhart second overall. Oh, this team looks like they're going to be turning a corner soon. We said the same thing when they drafted Eichel second overall in 2015. The next year, oh, you have two top picks. It's Reinhart, it's Eichel. These guys are going to lead the Sabres out of the dumps and into the promised land. And then you had the Pagulas coming in here and messing everything up. You had all the other controversies going on with the Ryan O'Reilly trade, etc. Evander Kane was a part of this organization for a while too. It was not fun in Buffalo for years, even though we had so many times seasons where you could say, oh, I kind of feel like they're going to be turning a corner this time. I made that mistake back in 2018 when I said that Casey Middlestad and Dahlin first overall right away would be the game-changing saviors of the franchise. Unfortunately for me, Dahlin, while he had a good season, he wasn't enough to go out there and really force the Sabres to becoming great again. But now, with Dylan Cousins on the rise, you have, of course, Tage Thompson, Krebs, Tuch, as we said, the Eichel return, the O'Reilly return starting to really heat it up over here, not to mention those first overall picks in Dahlin and Power doing their thing. You can't help but be excited for where the Sabres go in the long-term future, especially when you consider just the overall morale of how this team is going out there and playing their games. I'll tell you what, I don't know if a Ralph Krueger-led Buffalo Sabres team could beat Toronto and dominate Toronto the way that this current Sabres team has found themselves ways to do the entire year. They are the Toronto Kryptonite, and who knows if they're going to go out there and maybe pull some more magic off in the next few games over here. They're playing the St. Louis Blues tonight, so that's going to be cool to see Owen Power suiting up in his second NHL game. He had a whole bunch of family in the building for his first game against the Leafs, so we'll see if the Power folks are able to go out there and get some more tickets. But either way, let me know in the comments all your thoughts about these first overall picks, Dahlin and Power, both suiting up for the Buffalo Sabres. Where do you think they go in their futures, and how do you think they've been playing as of late? I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.